All right, hello everyone. My name is Noah Wills. I am the president of Students for DC Statehood, and we're here to talk to you about how to register and vote in DC as a student. And I'm here with Christian.
Hi, I'm the president of AU Students for DC Statehood. I'm excited for you guys to learn a little bit more about how to vote. So Noah, could you tell me a little bit about what the history of voting in DC has looked like?
Sure. So DC has a very unique history of voting as the nation's capital. It all started in 1790 with the Residence Act. Congress made DC the seat of the government. And from 1790 until 1801, DC residents could actually vote in the state in which they previously resided in Maryland or Virginia. But then in 1801, Congress passed the Organic Act, which prohibited DC residents from being able to vote for members of Congress and for president and vice president. But it wasn't until 1961 that through the 23rd Amendment, DC could now vote for president and vice president, which we still do today. And in 1970, DC residents were allowed to vote for a non-voting US House delegate who cannot vote in Congress. Congress then passed Home Rule in 1973, allowing DC residents to vote for a mayor and a city council. And then just a few years ago in 2016, DC residents voted 86% in favor of a statehood referendum, which would solve all of these problems and allow DC residents to vote as if they were residents of any of the 50 states. And so it's important to note that still today, DC residents do not have voting representation in the US House or the US Senate. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about how to register as a student to vote in DC.
So if you have not yet registered to vote in DC, it's not too late, and you're able to vote before November 3rd. So the only requirements are 1, that you're at least 18 years old before November 3rd, 2, that you've lived in DC for at least 30 days, and 3, that you have not yet voted in another state. In order to vote, when you register, you're going to need to bring a document that proves your residency in DC. So that can be anything from a DC license, a utility bill, or a paycheck that has your address on it. If you don't have those things, a tuition or housing bill from the most recent semester at American University would be sufficient. And so if you'd like to download that document, you can do so through Eagle Service and bring that with you to vote. If you have any issues registering to vote for whatever reason, or you're not able to vote on election day, please know that under the Help America Vote Act, you have a right to fill out a provisional ballot, and that you can cure that ballot within 2 days with the information that you need, and your vote will still be counted. So there's no excuse not to vote on November 3rd. This is one of the most important elections of our lives, so we gotta get out there and vote. So Noah, where can students vote?
So students can vote either early or on election day. So if you want to vote early, the polls are open from Tuesday, October 27th through November 2nd, the day before election day. And there are 32 places for you to vote in DC. You can vote at any one of them. But if you're an American University student, your best bet is probably to go to the Horace Mann Elementary School, which is close to the university. And those early voting centers will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Then on election day, you can also vote on Tuesday, November 3rd. And for election day, there are 95 voting centers open throughout the city. And again, you can vote at any one of them. And as long as you're in line by 8 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. And so again, if you're an American University student, the best chances for you and the closest places for you to vote on election day are either the Horace Mann Elementary School or the Janney Elementary School, both near Tenleytown and American University. And so just remember that you have a right to vote, even if somebody challenges you, especially because you're a student. Just be sure to fill out a provisional ballot. And like Christian said, if you need to prove your residence, you have 2 days after the election to do so to the Board of Elections. So let's talk about where students can go if they have additional questions or need more information.
So if you're seeking more information about how to vote on election day, definitely start at dcboe.org, and you'll find everything from a sample ballot to voting locations, voting assistance, and you can even track your ballot. So if you filled out a provisional ballot or you voted by mail or in a drop box, you can track that and make sure it was received and counted okay. And so if there's any information you can't find on the website, please just email director@dcboe.org, or you can call the Board of Elections, and they'll be sure to help you as soon as possible. They're very, very receptive.
All right, great. So let's definitely make sure that we all get out and vote. I know that this might be particularly important for people who may not get their home state's absentee ballot in time. This happened in 2016 a lot, where we had students who didn't really know how to vote in DC because of these issues. So just know that you can register and vote in person on election day or at any of the early voting days. So be sure to vote, and thanks for watching.